This video is sponsored by Pupford. Here's a fun game you can play to get your dog to come to you when you call them. See this treat? Go get it. The second he turns around to look at me, I'm gonna offer him another treat in order to incentivize him to come to me. Good job. And see, this just gets your dog in the habit of walking away from you and then looking up to say, hey, is there more? So I'm gonna be right there to say, I appreciate that. Here's an awesome Pupford treat. Now he's just automatically coming to me every time he gets that treat. That's the kind of behavior you want to instill in your dog in beginning training. Treats are an important part of training a dog. So whenever you're teaching a dog, especially something new, you wanna get them willingly focusing on you. That's how we keep their attention when they're young and new to training, and it's also the secret to marathon training sessions. You've seen me use these new Pupford treats in videos now for a while, and I use them because they're awesome. I think Rocho would agree. From a training perspective, I like that these are really dry so they're not very messy, but they're still very palatable to dogs. There's 450 treats per bag. I mean, that's enough training for a whole dog. These are actually freeze-dried beef liver. Turns out dogs really like beef liver. Check the link in the description to get your freeze-dried beef liver treats from Pupford. Click thumbs up for a new video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Follow us on Instagram @ZachGeorge to get more dog training tips between videos. I'll have a link below. And get a copy of my best-selling book, Dog Training Revolution. That link will be below too. It's very normal to want your dog to listen to you without treats, but getting there, that's a completely different story. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to get there. Let's meet Nathan and his dog, Blue.
Hi, my name is Nathan, and this is my dog, Blue. Blue here is a Belgian Malinois. I got Blue. I've heard a lot of good things about Malinois online. As far as like training goes, they're high energy, and also I wanted a dog with a little less hair than the one I have now, which is a German Shepherd. He's very good at training as long as I have a treat. He'll train all day long if I got treats, but if I don't have anything in my hand, sit, and he's not as interested in training. Zach, show me what to do to get Blue to listen to me without treats.
Nathan, I totally get what you're going through here. I mean, it can be frustrating when we're trying to get our dog to listen to us and feel like we need treats all the time. But dogs learn by associating various actions with the outcomes of those actions. For that reason, it's essential to create pleasant outcomes from your dog's perspective over a longer period of time than you might actually think. Therefore, during your first year of training, your focus needs to be on creating outcomes that you and your dog like in a multitude of different scenarios and in different places. Nathan, would you mind if I work with Blue for a little bit and kind of show you what you need to do to get Blue to be less treat dependent?
No problem.
So I'm gonna start off by working with Blue right here, just by treating him on something easy like sit. I'm curious to know if Blue will sit while moving. So let's see. Blue, come here. Good. I'm gonna reward for that. Since this is my first time ever working with Blue, I'm gonna be very generous on my rewards in the beginning and use lots of treats. So far, that's 100% of the time that Blue has honored my request to sit. Okay, I'll take it down. Right there, he showed some initiative and gave me a down. I'm gonna reward that. But when you're in a groove with your dog like this, you might try to reward a little bit less frequently. So for example, sit. Okay, good, come on. Sit. Okay, good. And let's go back here. And sit. Perfect. In that instance, I rewarded after 3 consecutive sits. This is the process that you go through to wean your dog off of treats. So out here in this relatively low distraction setting, I'm able to reward Blue every 3 times or so. If you went to a crowded area where your dog was really distracted, like say a concert for example, you wouldn't try to get away with rewarding your dog 1 out of 3 times until they've proven they're more reliable. So it's a gradual process. The idea is to really keep your dog guessing when you're trying to wean them off of treats. But remember, this is something that needs to go on over the next year or so of training. Most people expect their dogs to start listening without treats after they've demonstrated that they'll understand something in a limited number of contexts. For example, in your house or in a quiet neighborhood setting. We want to keep our dogs guessing. In their mind, they need to think they have a chance at getting rewarded over an extended period of time before you expect them to truly internalize and generalize skills like sit in public. Right there, he's distracted by a butterfly. Come here. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a treat because that was very enticing, and I wanna make sure he knows that, look, during this period of your training, if you'll listen to me, I'm going to provide desirable things around instances where he listens to me. Good job, Blue. You also wanna mix up the frequency with which you reward from training session to training session based on how challenging that specific training session is to your dog. If something happened, like right now I've got bikes coming over here, that's a distraction to Blue, then I might up my rate of reinforcement and reward more until he's proven that he'll listen. So I'm gonna try and get a look at me as these bikes pass by. Look at me, sit, good. Right there, that was great. I got a look at me and I got a sit and a voluntary down. Let's see if I can bring him into an up. Good, and on all 4s, stand, and sit, and now I'm gonna reward. But do you see how I'm being really selective about when I reward? As that distraction was really near, I was super generous with my rewards, but as the distraction got farther away and I really had Blue's attention on me, then I felt more comfortable in rewarding less. So you have to be really flexible when it comes to rewarding your dog, with the end goal being to wean them off of treats, at least for basic obedience and stuff like sit, lie down, and look at me. It's really important to adequately prepare your dog in the context in which you want them to listen ahead of time in a very deliberate, premeditated way. For example, you'll need to go to crowded places and areas that are super distracting for your dog with the sole intention of working with your dog, not necessarily going there to enjoy yourself. Though you could still do that too. I mean, training our dog is fun, isn't it? But Nathan, you know, with a good percentage of dogs, and I have a feeling Blue is one of those dogs, you can get by with hardly ever having to reward them with food. The moment I break out the tug toy, you could just see him light up and he's like, oh, I like this game. There's no reserved nature about you here. Oh, look at that. That's a Malinois if I've ever seen one. Look at this. Immediately into the game of tug. Tug of war is really one of the most underestimated forms of currency. For a dog like Blue, this may be a more powerful way to motivate him to listen to you than food could ever be. Not all dogs are motivated by play like this, but if your dog plays and lights up for a game of tug like this, that means play, or tug of war in this case, is a serious currency for them. It's a great way to motivate them. So let me show you how we would do it. This is one of those things that people just don't get immediately, but it can change everything. Sit. Yes, get it. Go on, get it. Good. I'm gonna play for about 5 seconds here just to let him know you listen to me. I'll play with you for a second. It takes a little polishing in the beginning here. Yes. Go on, get it. You see how I start shaking it right there to make it interesting? A shaking tug toy like that can be really exciting for Blue. Good job. And if you've ever seen them train Malinois and many other dogs for police work or for dog sport, this is what they use to motivate them. Tug of war. Even for my own dogs, when I used to do Frisbee dog competitions, tug of war was a massive motivator for them. Sit. Nope. And right there, he's jumping for it. We'll just withhold the rewards when he jumps for it. That's all. I'm just pulling it away and being like, no, you're not gonna get tug if you jump for it. And there was a rollerblader that just went by. He didn't even notice because I have this tug toy. He's like, I want that. And when your dog is saying, I want that, use it to your advantage. You really don't need to use treats if you can get your dog working for tug. For a dog that's willing to play tug like this, it can be magical and accelerate your training at light speed. Nathan, why don't you see if you can get Blue playing tug with you? Curious to see how this looks. There you go. Pick up that energy, get into it a little bit, because look how energetic he is. Match that energy in your own special way. I know not everyone acts like a clown like me. There you go, that's what I'm talking about. Good, beautiful. Now have him let go, ask him to sit.
Okay, sit. Good.
Reward?
Boy.
More enthusiastic.
Okay.
Like, yes! You gotta really ignite that excitement in them. There it is. You said you were only playing tug of war about once a week or so with them. This needs to be central to your training. If you can get a dog playing with you, you'll get a dog that listens to you. Pupford treats are the perfect balance between convenience and effectiveness when it comes to training your dog. I'll have a link in the description. Click thumbs up for Blue and Nathan, subscribe to my channel, and get a copy of my book. I hope you guys like this video, and this is a reminder to let you know we're really active on Instagram and that you can get dog training tips virtually daily, as well as be a part of my live broadcasts. For those not familiar, Instagram is a mobile-only app, so go download the app. I'll have my Instagram link below for you to check out. Follow me there.